Hey everybody, it's Philip with RTX Honeybees. I want y'all to meet Rachel.
Hello.
She's my newbie or my mentee, whatever you want to call her. But yeah, this is her first time to do kind of a deep dive into the bees. So
I'm so excited.
what do you think, Rachel?
I'm so excited. I can't
All
wait.
right. We've got her. We're gonna have her nice and protected so she has a good experience. So I'll probably just put you guys on a tripod. You can watch us. So hopefully y'all enjoy it. Thank you.
Okay.
Go ahead and give them a little smoke. Well, there's a lot of bees up here, so maybe I'm worried about these bees for nothing. That's it. Just a little.
Okay.
All right. Do you have your hive tool? Because I've put mine down already. Now, don't let me just lay it down. I have to hand it back to you. This is yours. I'm plenty good at losing my own.
Okay. All right.
Okay, so this.
I apologize for the lack of audio, but I was so focused on talking to Rachel and what we were doing that I just kind of forgot to talk to you all out there in video land. So we'll just show you what we were doing, and I'll break in and explain if there's anything that needs to be talked about.
Just right there.
Okay.
Because we're mainly concerned about going down
Gonna
into
put this down here.
No, we're gonna need. Just hang on to it.
Okay.
I chose this hive to start with for a couple of reasons. One is, historically, they've been my most gentle bees. And the other reason is that I was a little bit worried about them. They seem to have a real small cluster in the winter, and also had a little bit of a varroa problem uh, back in the fall. But this colony turned out to be doing fantastic, way better than I expected, just completely full of bees. They were still pretty well behaved, but I was pleasantly surprised. The top box was really full of honey and heavy, and you can see I'm scraping off some burr comb that's also full of honey. So these bees for sure don't need any food, and as we get into it we find even more honey. I was a little concerned about robbing, so I took that honey well away from the bees we were working. Turned out I didn't have anything to worry about. I think the bees are actually finding something. This first frame is full of honey, uh, for the most part, at least half full. And we looked for the queen briefly. Now, actually, that was the second frame. This frame was full of honey. It's the outside frame. And I'm showing Rachel, the differences in honey and brood and whatnot as we move through this colony. Showing her a little bit of brood, small patch of brood. There's a real nice frame of brood, both sides. This is March 2nd, and I think these bees are way ahead of schedule. More brood. I'm trying to show her the eggs in the frame, but she's really, really interested and excited to try to see those. I don't think we saw eggs on this frame. She did definitely see eggs later in a different colony, but that's us trying to get the sun over my shoulder. I think I hand it to her. She's off screen, but she's trying to let the sun go into the frame to see the eggs. I just got stung on the hand. I don't know if you guys noticed that. Got stung again. I end up putting gloves on a little later. But you can tell Rachel is really into getting into the bees. She was so excited. And it was a lot of fun to be a part of this. Showing her the difference in drawn brood and regular brood. We saw bees that were emerging. We did not see the queen in this first colony. We'd seen enough. I didn't go all the way to the end, so now it's time to put this colony back together and go on to the next one. So this next colony we're going to get into is one of my three-way queen mating nukes. There's just one colony in there, but I need to get that lower box and that base because I will be
in theory, should be
making
coming to
splits
that
and trying to
spot right
raise
there,
queens
okay?
in that.
So
we're going to set up another colony in this location,
luckily we got a spot here.
and we're going to transfer the frames over one at a time. So I'm explaining to Rachel that I'm going to drag it over and she can set up the new box. This colony has a feeder shim on it, and you can see all the bees in the top. Like the first colony, it is completely packed out with bees. You have to remember that this is also the first time I'm getting into these colonies. Right here, I'm showing Rachel how to move all the frames to one side and then move the outside frame away, so you give the second frame as much room as possible to be able to pull it out without rolling bees. This particular colony had a ton of brood and not many food stores. So I'm already making plans to figure out a way to get some food on these. That second frame in was covered with brood, and this frame has some honey, but not nearly enough for a colony this size.
What I'd like to have a honey frame on the outside, and then a pollen frame.
Rachel realizes I put it in the wrong spot and corrects me, so she's a little bit more attentive to detail than I am.
Yeah, I'm checking the health of the brood. And see the caps, they're all nice and even. There were some that were like sunken in. Like, see that one's kind of sunken in right there? I might try and open it up, see if I'm worried about anything.
And once again, I want to apologize to the viewers that I'm spending all of my attention trying to show her and explain to her what's going on. But you can see that there is a tremendous amount of cap brood. That is wall-to-wall cap brood both sides of that frame. I would like for you guys to hear the dialogue, but it's just too, look at the brood on that. It's just too poor of an audio quality to make you suffer through it. But So I'm going through this, fairly quickly with her. There's a frame that is a medium frame in a deep box, and I'm showing her, telling her what they do with that when they do that. These last two frames had some wonky comb, and they were cross-bridged. So about this time, we spot the queen.
It could be between. There's kind of a
Very
gap.
hard.
There's a little gap there. All right. Oh, there she is. Yep. She's out in the middle now. She tricked us. All right. I don't know. Hopefully you guys can see that, but she's a massive. Look at that big old booty.
Baby got back.
Yep. She's dragging it. She's dragging her butt around. All right. I'm gonna leave these alone for now, but I need to come back and straighten that mess up when the queen's not on it. We got more to do today, though.
So I've gone off to get a deep super that has mostly undrawn frames in it, but has a few frames of drawn comb. And we're going to start, we're going to pull some brood frames up to help bring the bees to the top box. And we're going to put some undrawn frames with starter strip in the bottom, so the bees will go ahead and draw those out. And here is Rachel repositioning the frames, just as I had explained to her, getting everything nice and tight and recentered. I'm going to put the bees in front so they can crawl in. Stick a brick under there so it'll hold it tight. Oh, I'm getting ready, but then I forget I need the feeder shim. I'm trying to explain to Rachael here about the bees fanning. Alright, I come back actually the next morning and give them some food. This lid doesn't fit properly.
We're just gonna do an inspection on these.
Okay.
This one I think has a feeder too, and a lot of bees. Boy, I'm gonna wish I had more deep boxes and using the drawn comb, drawn out comb. All right, go ahead and give a little smoke.
So I decided it's time to stop the video.
All right, YouTubers, I'm gonna stop filming here in case we see something cool, and we'll come back and wrap it up after we're through looking into these colonies. So I believe we're on some sort of honey flow, nectar flow, because when Rachael and I scraped these off of that first colony, it's been out here for 2 hours, and I think there's two bees on it, and those probably were on it when we scraped it. So the bees should have found this a long time ago. So looks like the flow is on. I think I'll be putting honey supers on tomorrow. All right, so we went through 3 colonies, and they were all extremely strong and healthy. And Rachael got toward the end. I wish I had videoed it, but she handled a lot of the frames there toward the end.
Tried to.
She did good for her first time for sure. So tell me, what you thought about it?
I was just, every single one of the frames you take out is just like looking at a whole new world. It's so awesome to see, and it's exciting. So I can't wait to do it more. It was a dream come true to be able to start doing this. So thank you.
Cool. No problem. We're going to do a lot more of it.
And we found the queen.
Yeah, we did. We did find a queen. All right. Talk to y'all later. It's Philip with RTX Honeybees. Thanks for watching.